this video, I'm going to talk about what to do and what not to do when you deal with LinkedIn. And you might be thinking why I'm doing this video on that specific topic, right? Well, I've been using LinkedIn very actively for more than 4 years and I've been benefited in some ways. It might be getting a job offer directly through LinkedIn, or it might be appearing in LinkedIn search often by the recruiters. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do on LinkedIn and how we can make our LinkedIn profile purposeful. So without further ado, let's start about what we should do on LinkedIn. First thing, be more active on LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn is not as fancy as Facebook or Instagram, and I would say LinkedIn is more like green tea. We all know green tea doesn't taste great, but it's very good for health. Similarly, LinkedIn might not sound too interesting, but as you become used to it, you will find it really helpful. Let me tell you some of the stories from my real life, how LinkedIn helped me in some ways. So here is one of my stories. I migrated to New Zealand all the way from Bangladesh with a job offer which is quite unusual. It surprised my friends, relatives, how I managed a job all the way from Bangladesh. That was their question. You know how? It was all about LinkedIn. One day, it was like any other day, a recruiter knocked me on LinkedIn if I'm interested for a role which is based in New Zealand. I said yes. Then I went for an interview for that role. The whole interview happened virtually through WhatsApp, if I can recall. And eventually they offered me the role, and that's how my journey started, by landing into a very beautiful land full of colors and natures called Aotearoa, which is also known as New Zealand to the rest of the world. So this is an example how LinkedIn helped me. And not only this, after that I joined a big company called Deloitte, which is also through a recruiter approaching me on LinkedIn. So it's quite normal nowadays getting knocked by recruiters, and if I find a better opportunity, I will definitely move on. So your takeaway from the story is that if you want to be connected with recruiters from all around the globe, LinkedIn is a great place to start with. And also, as I'm so active on LinkedIn, I get some industry specific news or articles or promotional offers through LinkedIn that helped me to enrich my knowledge and career. And this is one of the reasons I go to LinkedIn nearly every day to find something that sounds interesting. So these are some of the examples why we should be more active on LinkedIn. Now, you might be asking how we can be more active on LinkedIn. Well, here is my advice to you. Write some good articles on LinkedIn. Writing articles on LinkedIn will make your LinkedIn profile more visible in Google search results as well as LinkedIn search results. So allocate some time for you to write some good articles on LinkedIn. Even if you don't have time to write articles on LinkedIn, at least what you can do, you can share some good articles or useful resources or links on LinkedIn. It indicates that you really care about your community. My another advice to you, get a good profile picture for your LinkedIn. I saw many people saying it has to look professional, but I do not entirely agree with that. You can have a professional look at your profile picture, but the most important thing to me is that it shouldn't look boring. Let your profile picture grab recruiters' attention. That's what you need to make sure. Then give a good headline to your profile that describes your skill sets. Because when a recruiter comes to your profile page, the very first thing they might notice is your headline to understand if you are a good fit for a specific job. So make a very good headline that highlights your expertise. Here is my one as an example. And then try to grab some professional certificates related to the industry where you want to build your career. For example, if you want to build your career in the cloud computing industry, get some industry specific certificates from either AWS or Azure. If you want to build your career in cybersecurity space, grab some certificates from EC Council or similar. If you want to build your career in managerial role, get certificates like project management certificates or Scrum. And the most important thing is highlight them in certification sections. There are other sections on LinkedIn as well that you can add to your profile. You can add them all basically, but the most important sections I would say you should give more focus on are about us, experience, education, and certifications. These are the few sections you need to make sure are well written. And last but not the least, include some core projects that you have done and that you think might grab recruiters' attention. Right? Now let's finish this video with some don'ts. What we should not do. Let's start with the job portal. Though job portal is one of the features of LinkedIn, and this might be the main reason why most of the people come to LinkedIn often to apply for a role for sure. Here are my thoughts. Don't use the LinkedIn job portal to apply for a job. It's a total waste of time. There is very less chance you will get a call from the employer through the job portal. I personally do not find these too useful. So, how we can get a job in LinkedIn then? My advice to you, upskill yourself, make yourself a potential asset for your future employers and let the recruiters find you. And that's exactly what I do. I do not spend time on searching for jobs. I want the job to find me out. Got it? Secondly, I saw people often ask me to give some recommendations on their LinkedIn profile. I personally do not find this recommendation feature too useful, and I do not think recruiters also look at these recommendations. Because most of the time what happens, these recommendations will come from either your best friends or colleagues who will always speak good about you. So nowadays I don't think this recommendation feature makes any sense. And same goes for endorsements. If someone endorses me on something on LinkedIn, it doesn't mean I'm really good at that. Someone endorsed me on LinkedIn because either he or she is one of my best friends, or maybe I personally asked them to endorse me. So this endorsement doesn't make any sense anymore. So don't worry about how many recommendations or endorsements you have in your LinkedIn profile. As you see, I have nearly 0 recommendations on my profile and I don't bother. So these are the few strategies you can go through. It's all based on my personal LinkedIn experiences and thoughts. Nothing is hard requirements, but good to have them in your LinkedIn profile. So what I want to say, use LinkedIn effectively and efficiently and make your LinkedIn profile purposeful for your career and for the community. That's all. Thank you.